Hello everyone and welcome to another video here on the channel. Remember to sub and like. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subs. So let's talk about Grace Van Dien and FaZe Rain. Now let's put into context what exactly has been happening. Grace Van Dien is an actress who starred in an episode of Stranger Things, and she was recently invited to join FaZe Clan. Now FaZe Rain, who's one of the co-owners and founders of FaZe Clan, who sold the company, wasn't happy about this. He leaked this information along with a lot of other confidential information about what certain people in FaZe Clan were making and how the company was burning through money and unable to make a profit, which is no shocker if you can look at their stock prices and see it's like I think below $1, so that's like nothing. And so she was hired. They had like a 5-minute presentation of her joining, which is huge. Like not even Ninja got that from Mixer. And ultimately she's been the target for a lot of hate. Now the reason behind this hate is because, well, obviously FaZe Rain isn't happy about it and he attracts a certain audience when it comes to his content and his personality, and they went after Grace, and basically he said some very, let's just say, assholey things. He said how she's only there because of her position in life, which I do agree. Like, she only got it because she is in a certain position in life, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'll state that, like I stated in my video before. Some people are given more benefits in life than others. Take whatever advantage you can, because tomorrow you can wake up and everything could come crashing down. Do whatever you can in order to make the money, basically. But then he made a very low blow comment about how he would never sleep with her even on his drunkest nights. So, you know, a frat boy, very assholey thing to say. I think I can say that now because it's been about 10 seconds since the video started. But then she came out with her response, and it wasn't as, it was pretty much the same level of assholey. Like, I'm more on her side than I am on FaZe Rain, because he started this. Like, he hit the low blow first. So, of course, if you hit a low blow, don't expect someone else to not take the same thing. Like yeah, you're more inclined to take the high road to be the more humbled person, but if they hit you with a low blow, I can't really fault anyone for going for a similar low blow, or in her case, it wasn't really on similar, I would say similar slaughter. Like, it was more of like she completely buried him in the sense that she made a comment about his OD, which is probably not the best thing you should say. It's like, it reminded me of that episode of Superstore where Garrett made a comment about Dina breaking up with him, and then he basically let it slip that she was in therapy, which just made him look like just a huge asshole. And yeah, like let's just say FaZe Rain has not been happy, and he's been literally directing his anger towards Grace, and Grace is more or less hired as a diversity hire. She is a diversity hire. That's a thing that does happen in the workplace. No sugarcoat in it. And I think it's great to have diversity hires. People from different backgrounds and different ethnicities do offer, you know, different perspectives when it comes to job positions. I'm all for it. I know some people are against it and they strongly believe that meritocracy should be the only foundation. I'm kind of hit or miss on that. I know probably going to get a lot of enemies for saying that, but I've seen like how diversity can lead to a lot of, you know, healthy workplace situations. But the reality is that FaZe Clan was founded on esports, and she's not an esports player. She is a content creator, and since the company was founded on those foundations, even though the company's trying to shift to content creation and become similar to One True King, like Asmongold's organization, it doesn't really still work well with the company, because it's like if Coca-Cola decided tomorrow they were going to stop selling soda and just completely start selling juice. They do sell juice, but they just completely abandon Coca-Cola, and then you buy a bottle of Coca-Cola and it turns out there's juice inside. It's people are going to be angry about it because this is not what your company was founded on. So, long story short, they finally met, and Grace Van Dien threatened to leave FaZe Clan after a motion confrontation with Rain. Now, this was going to be bad no matter what. Like, FaZe Rain has this kind of frat boy persona that he keeps up. Like, he acts like, I think he's in his 30s or at least late 20s, and he acts like he's 21. So he doesn't have the very most mature attitude when it comes to this. And, well, we're going to read through this article. I've only seen the headlines, and we're going to discuss this. I went through a very large opening because I wanted to set the foundation for everything that's happening. I think it's necessary. FaZe Rain has made his feelings about the esports organization recent business decisions quite clear. Yeah, But things amp up a notch after FaZe announced that Grace Van Dien of Stranger Things fame would be joining the ranks. Again, we have to reiterate that FaZe Rain sold the company. So he may be a co-lead of the company, but a co-founder, but that doesn't mean anything when you sell the company. It's like what happened. I made this comparison before in Spider-Man from Sam Raimi's first film of how Norman Osborn was kicked out of his company. I believe he was also kicked out of his company, like it's canon within the comic and the TV shows, but he was kicked out because the board of directors said, you're out. When you sell your company, I mean, I think FaZe Rain knows he's on borrowed time, and he's just going wild. Rain and Grace went back and forth in a series of videos and posts in the wake of their sign-in to FaZe, with Rain actually leaking her announcement days beforehand and levying a few personal insults towards the actress. Of note, Rain lashed out at Grace for not knowing what trick shotting is before calling the actress extraordinarily mid, who would never let him touch me on my darkest nights. Yeah, this is where he made that really garbage comment. Grace hit back by telling him, get the effing wrecked, and bringing up his previous struggles with drug addiction. I know you, Rain, as the person who overdosed on live stream, and I know that you're better now, and I'm really proud of you for that. I am. You see that what I meant about one person starting the low blow and then the other one coming in with a similar low blow? It just doesn't look good for either person. To me, it just looked like a giant P match. One of my commenters, Cindy, made that. Thanks, Cindy, for your support about how it just looks like a giant P match between two people who were personally insulted by one another. But obviously, FaZe Clan is going to take Grace's side. Like, I have no doubt about that, because in reality, they just signed her to a new contract. And if you know anything about big contracts, they always have a buyout. Like, saying that if a contract, they want to buy you out of a contract, they have to give you a certain amount of money. And usually it's like 50% of what they gave you initially. So, that's probably not great for FaZe Clan, considering they're literally burning money every single day. But again, you can't know unless you read the contract, but I'm almost certain they have a buyout clause for her. Like, she can afford a lawyer. Grace mentioned of her substance abuse sparked backlash against her from Rain and his fans, but other streamers like Disguised Toast and Asmin defended her remarks. Yeah, because a lot of Rain's fans are very, they're like those people who think that if you talk loud and you insult people on a profound level, that somehow you're smarter and you're much more, that you're smarter and you're in the right. People who are older, I hate this, like me, who are more distinguished in the sense that we've seen a lot of what the world has to offer. People don't talk like that, and if you still talk like that, anyone can pick you out as being a man-child. Like, if you just immediately start yelling and cursing at people, or not even cursing, just yelling and speaking very loudly. Like, I knew someone who was like that, and it just makes you sound like a fool. On May 28th, Rain announced via his Instagram stories that he and Grace were going to meet up for a video to discuss their issues, but the collaboration ended up turning sour. I don't know why she would do that. This will only end badly, because I don't know this guy on a personal level, but I saw a lot of his videos to just get an idea of who this person is. He just sounds so obnoxious. I know you can't, judge a person based on their social media content, but still, it's the way he just presents himself. It doesn't come off as someone who will literally talk to you on a decent level. Like what happened with Gideon and Pokimane, even though they have Gideon has a very extraordinary personality, he's in your face. He does seem like a very understanding and humble person. If you talk to him on his level, he'll talk to you. So in that case, it was much more likely that they would come to an understanding. Same thing for It's a Gundam versus Pokimane. I know I use Pokimane a lot, but she's been through a lot of controversies. Same situation. Yeah, It's a Gundam can come off as very toxic in a lot of ways, but if you talk to him on his level, two people talking, I feel like he would be more understanding, because at that point, that's where you're talking to a person instead of through a screen. When you're talking to someone through a screen, you act in a different way because you don't have that personal connection. You're not seeing that person right there. At least that's how I see it. How could you let other people hurt your feelings? He said during one point of their conversation, do you not believe in yourself? Are you not a confident woman? You're accomplished at great things. You should be confident in yourself. It doesn't matter how confident you are. If someone constantly berates you continuously, it's going to eat away at you, and eventually it's going to get to you. Like, you could be the most confident person in the world. It's like South Park actually did a really good episode of this with the TikTok one with Token and Kyle. How Token is shown to be a very, understanding and smart person. But the second Cartman said that Jews run Hollywood as a way to, like, create a bridge between their content creation, it starts to work. Why? Because it starts to spread, everyone starts to reiterate it, and eventually everyone starts to believe it. Not just Tolkien, but everyone within the school. And the same thing happens when you have, like, this guy has over 1 million followers coming to you, berating you, using VPNs, sock puppet accounts, and just, like, attacking you and harassing you. It gets to you. Like, it will, especially if you're a woman. Like, this is another story. My boss, Vanessa, she had to move from her apartment once because someone found out where she lived and constantly posted her address everywhere on Twitch, kept making sock puppet accounts, kept harassing her, and she had to move. So, yeah, it's worse. If I call you mid, you should be like, F him. He continued, who cares what I say? And if I bring you up my drug past and are you getting emotional? Seriously, like, look at the way he's speaking. Like, this is probably the Instagram story. Can't play it for some reason. It was at this point that Grace seemingly began to cry. Yeah, she answered, I don't like you. Okay, that's fine. I'm just being very logical. I understand how you feel, but you brought these things up against me. I mean, this guy is just such a jackass. He's harassing this poor girl. I know I'm on the side of her because this guy is literally berating her. And that's not taking into context his fan base, who's probably also, like, sending her all these hateful messages and everything. I think you're a terrible person, she shot back. I actually think that, too, because if you're doing all this and not expecting, like, backlash, again, you can say, like, just shut down social media, just turn off Twitter and turn off all that. When you're a stream and a content creator, you can't really do that. You can't shut down everything. Like, I've tried to do that, even though I'm, like, very low tier when it comes to content creation. You can't shut it out. You can't shut out Twitter and Instagram and all this stuff because you kind of need that stuff in order to get information, in order to, connect and see what's going on. Like, right now I do this commentary channel. I have to go to Twitter. I have to go to Instagram. I have to see what's going on. I have to have things bookmarked and understand and, prepare myself mentally. And yeah, it also comes with the backlash because you're probably going to piss off some people. You're probably going to annoy some people that are going to take it too far. And because of that, it's really hard to get away from something that you need in order to pursue your career. Because at this point, she is a content creator and it's, it's the career she's chosen now. So, 1922, let's do that.
I don't like you.
Wait, he reacted to this? Dude, oh my god, this is probably going to be really bad, but we're going to skip because pretty sure this will probably get, like, copyright claimed if I go too much of it.
I'm fucking hurt. I almost died. And I called you mid and you responded something that almost took my life, that almost left my mom without a son and support. See, I can play that fucking game all day.
I'm an actor too, bitch!
Fuck that game. I don't give a fuck. And it's like, how could you let other people hurt your feelings? Do you not believe in yourself? Are you not a confident woman? You should be. You should be. You've accomplished great things. You should feel confident in yourself.
Am I
Fuck
not
all that.
confident?
The way he's talking, it's literally like look, I hang around a lot of Middle Eastern people. I am Muslim. And I remember, like, these are the type, he's like the people I used to meet at the mosque, like, after prayer and everything. Like, when I was, like, 12 or something, they would act like that. They would act so bullish and overconfident and act like this. Like, oh, you're not overconfident, or you're not this, or you're not that. It's just like, it's like staring at a mirror, and it's so uncanny. And you can look by her face, like, she's really trying hard just not to have a response. Like, her face is just like, I don't want to give him more ammo, and she's definitely just doesn't want to be there. Like, the way he's acting is just so aggressive. And the fact that he's responded to this with a reaction, not a good look.
And you don't know me.
So then how's this hurting your feelings? If I called you mid, you should be like, fuck him. Who cares what I say? And if you bring up my drug past, are you getting emotional?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just speaking the truth. I don't want you to get emotional.
I don't like you.
Okay, that's fine.
There are so many things wrong about this. Like, I'm socially inept. I'm not gonna lie about that. But even I can pick up to, like, what the hell are you saying? Like, dude, are you just stupid? Like, of course she's gonna get emotional. Like, you're attacking her. Like, this is verbal assault. She doesn't know how to respond because she feels like if she yells, she'll break composure and start crying, and he will get more aggressive because he's getting more aggressive. He's like, he is personally insulted that she brought up her when he OD'd. And look, the thing is that when you do something like that, I feel like you should take that as, as a way to turn your life around. Like, it happened, and it should be like an alarm bell in your head, like, hey, this happened. I should not do this. I need to turn my life around. Like, I feel bad. I do, but it's just one of those moments where you have to be like, okay, this almost happened. My existence almost was ended. I need to, like, change my life. But, like, he's just really going hard on this girl.
I'm just being very logical. I understand how you feel, but you brought things up against me. How do you expect me to
I think you're a
react?
terrible person.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, she's pulling the acting shit out now. Because I said that
Pulling the acting shit out now?
How am I a terrible person for what?
Pulling the acting shit
How
out now.
am I a terrible person? Explain.
How are you you know what? Let's just end the video. Let's just play it out.
I don't owe you an explanation, actually.
And I owe you an explanation.
Oh, wow. Did she...
Macho, tell Vera that I'm not doing this video, and if they release anything, then I'm leaving, please.
Oh my god.
Get fucking wrecked.
Okay, the condescending wave was terrible, but her saying that was just as bad. Look, I am on her side. I am. I think he was being a tremendous dickhead. 100%. But the thing is that she should have known coming into this organization of what it entails. Like, this organization is very public. Like, they highlight all the stuff that they do. Like, he's one of the co-founders. You should take that as a foundation of what you're going to get yourself into. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I always do my research before I accept the job. Always, whether it's freelance, whether it's a one-time thing, I always do it. And I've rejected a lot of them because I felt like they were not worth it. And in this case, it's just like she shouldn't have been there in the first place. Like, she shouldn't be in FaZe Clan. She is literally a diversity hire hired for the purpose of basically being a target for FaZe Clan in order to attract new people based on the fact that she's a popular actor from Stranger Things and she's very beautiful. Like, that's why she was hired. I hate to say it, but that is the fact. And I 100% believe what she is going through is completely unwarranted. Like, she doesn't deserve what's happening to her. But she shouldn't be there in the first place. She should have seen this coming from a mile away and decided this is not worth it. Because in the end, a lot of these organizations don't give you the leg up that you need in order to succeed. Yeah, if you're a content creator like me on the lowest end of the totem pole, joining something like FaZe Clan would definitely be a huge upgrade and definitely give more eyes to your content. But she was already established. Like, she was already recognized. People already knew her. She got verified on Twitch. I think she almost had 500k subs. That's followers, not subs. But either way, that's huge. So, I don't know. Like, she should not have been there in the first place. And the backlash she's getting is something that should have been expected. It's not warranted. It's completely horrible, and I feel bad for her. But at the same time, she shouldn't have been there. Like, it really does suck. She doesn't deserve what's happening to her, and you can see, like, it's destroying her mentally because of all the stuff that's happening to her. Not only from this guy, but his fans, everything that's coming. Like, I don't think she can deal with I don't think I would be able to deal with this. Like, I would definitely I would definitely just fall apart by half of the stuff that she's dealing with right now. And I can only imagine that this is going to follow her. Even if she leaves FaZe Clan, it's going to follow her. And I'm pretty sure, like, on top of there being a buyout clause on a contract, there's also early termination clauses. Like, there are penalties if you decide to, leave an organization before your contract is fulfilled. Like, as much as FaZe Clan is burning through money, I'm pretty sure they have good lawyers who have, like, clauses that state, hey, if you leave early, you have to pay a fine or something. But it just feels really bad. Like, this guy is acting like an ass. He is, 100%. And honestly, she did the right thing for her own personal mental health to leave, because if she didn't leave, likely she would have started crying, because you could see that she was on the verge of just like losing it. When asked why she felt this way, Grace said, "I didn't owe him an explanation," and walked out of the room clearly crying. Yeah, she doesn't owe him anything. I don't know why she went to see him in the first place. Like, that was the first mistake. That's not all. She threatened to leave. Shortly after Rain's video, FaZe Clan spoke out publicly about the situation in a short tweet. I'm pretty sure they're on her side, all things considered, because again, she's under contract. It's the best move for them, PR-wise, to side on the girl who's not acting like a dickhead. Like, not to side with the guy who is acting like a dickhead. In their post, FaZe openly showed support for Grace and called treatment toward her in no way okay. Yeah, it's not. 100%. I'm sure if this video does well, that someone's going to say I'm on his side. No, I am 100% on Grace's side in terms of like the way everything is happening here, because she doesn't deserve what's happening to her. But at the same time, I am arguing that she shouldn't have been there in the first place. Like, that's what I'm arguing on a two-parter. Like, she doesn't deserve their harassment, but she shouldn't be part of FaZe Clan anywhere. Grace has just as much to be in FaZe Clan as Snoop Dogg did. Like, it's a PR move to just basically use her to clean up the mess of FaZe Clan and try and gain some sort of notoriety for a failing company. FaZe is no stranger to contrasting viewpoints and passionate opinions on the future of the brand. Recruitment has always been drawn out. But make no mistake, the mistreatment of our newest member is no way okay. Grace joined and hopes to bring her voice to FaZe, and we stand by her. Yeah, of course. You signed her to a contract. You can't, remove her. FaZe is no stranger. Oh, we just read that. FaZe has responded to the FaZe Rain has responded to the FaZe statement, seemingly calling out the company's director of social media, ratio shit dumbass up Seabass. Oh, yeah, that seems like something he would say. The guy is going to double and triple down because he doesn't want to look like the bad guy. Of course, his fans are going to ratio this. This isn't the first time Rain has taken shots at Seabass. In fact, Rain threatened to leave the company unless Seabass got fired in a video earlier this month. Dude, if he left, literally, they wouldn't have lost anything. Like, yeah, he would be out of his company, but the guy makes a pretty good living on his YouTube channel. Like, it would be no loss at this point. I think at this point, he's trying to get fired. Because, honestly, if he gets fired, that would be really good for him. Because he can use that as being a martyr. Like, saying, I started FaZe, I did all this, and then he can literally pump out videos on that forever. And then if the company fails, which it's likely going to fail, he can literally use that as well as like a turning point, saying, I knew this was going to come and all this. Like, you just have to look at it from a future tense. Like, if he gets fired and the company fails, it's just going to be 100% in his benefit. And then it would be terrible for Grace, because then people would target her, and other content creators get signed to FaZe as a way to say, you're the reason FaZe fell. And she will never live that down. It will literally follow her. There will always be people out there who will tackle her if the company goes under for that, even though she has, no control over the finances when it comes to FaZe Clan. It's just the way things are going to go, and I've been around on the internet and in the gaming industry long enough to know how this is going to turn out, and it's not pretty for her, which really sucks. Similarly, co-founder FaZe Banks also chimed in amid the string of drama, replying to the statement, you guys have lost the fucking plot. Thus, it's unclear if Grace is still with FaZe Clan in the wake of the latest drama, though her Twitter account has been set to private in the wake of today's situation, which is probably for the best. Like, she shouldn't have to deal with this. She's going to deal with a lot more hate the coming weeks. I think the best thing for her to do is to just go silent. Like, don't stream, don't tweet, don't make Instagram posts. Just back away from the internet. Go do anything else that doesn't involve the internet. Stay away from your phone. Turn off your phone. Go give it to your family members or something and say, hey, I'm going to be doing this and that, but just get away from it. And, this is another article. We're not going to go through that. Hassan, loser FaZe, for his remarks about Grace. Of course, like, Hassan is going to jump onto this because, it's big news. It's the same reason I'm doing it. Either way, I am actually on Grace's side on this. She doesn't deserve what's happening to her. FaZe Rain is being an asshole to her, and ultimately, this is just like a big P match between both of them, and I don't know how this is going to end good for her. Like, in every situation I can think of, it's not going to end pretty for her in terms of like the backlash that will happen from the people who are fans of the OG FaZe clan and FaZe Rain. They're going to harass her to the end of the earth because there are people like that. And for Grace herself, like this is just like something that she should have not signed up for, because I don't know, take it as a life lesson. Maybe I'm wrong and everything will blow over and everything will, hold their hands and a rainbow over their heads. I hope for that. I always hope for the best. I don't like seeing like, people get emotionally destroyed in this type of way, but we'll have to wait and see. Either way, I just think that FaZe Rain, you really gotta cool it, man. Leave the girl alone. Like, this is not your company anymore, in the sense that it's not the same way it was when it was first operating. Things change, people change, and FaZe Clan simply isn't able to make the profit of what it's established itself on. Like, things have to change over time, and you either can change with them or you can get buried by them. It's like with when I believe it was the 12th Doctor, whoever Matt Smith was, his speech to Claude before he transformed, you gotta keep moving, and things are about change and renewal. So I hope the best for Grace. I really hope that she, finds some peace and solace from all of this that's happening to her. But at the same time, pick your words carefully next time when something like this happens, and maybe choose your actions more correctly. Like the OD statement and going to see this guy, probably not the best situation. But, all to their own. It happened. All you can do is move forward. So that's it from me. This is probably a bit of a long video, but, I have to be more confident to report on stuff like that, even if I come off as certain ways, or maybe my opinion is not really, up to standard for certain people. But either way, that's it from me. Like if you like, dislike if you dislike, and that's me signing out.